New tonight at 11, we're hearing from the family of a woman shot and killed outside of the Stalking County Courthouse. And tonight, the daughter of Krystal Evans says her mother did not have to die because she believes law enforcement actually dropped the ball because of a history of domestic violence between her mother and the suspect. 11 Alive, Teresa Bowles, live tonight in the newsroom with what we know tonight. Teresa?
Well, Ron, tonight authorities have identified the suspect as Mr. Tom Mallory. Adding to her pain, Precious Evans tells me Mallory is her biological father.
I feel like I don't have nobody.
Precious Evans says she lost both of her parents at the same time.
I don't have nobody to lean on.
She says she watched her comforter, her mother, Krystal Evans, go through an ugly divorce with her father for a year.
She was so happy after her divorce. She felt free. We were even talking about doing a party.
However, throughout that year, she also says she witnessed disturbing behavior. Krystal posts a cry for help on Facebook last year saying, "Please know if something happens to me, Tom Mallory did it."
Even after the divorce, this man literally texted her, "Not happening."
Precious says her mother was at the Stalking County Courthouse for a hearing connected to their separation Friday afternoon.
The judge did issue a warrant. Instead of the judge taking him in right then and there, the judge said that he could turn himself in Monday night.
In a lengthy Facebook post, Sheriff Daryl Dix says Krystal walked out of the courthouse to her car where Mallory met her, shooting her multiple times from the window. Mallory did not stop for police and eventually shot himself. He's alive, but Evans is not, which Precious believes could have been prevented.
My mom literally called the sheriff department the day before because he was stalking her, and they did nothing. Had they had someone walked out with her, her friend asked, she would still be here.
Dix denies this. He says surveillance video shows Krystal never asked for an escort. His office also confirms there have been several domestic violence calls to the Mallory household. Dix says sometimes the violence was mutual and there were no witnesses to identify the aggressor. Dix says, quote, "Do improvements need to be made to the law? Yes, they do. Maybe it wasn't a deputy or my agency that failed. Maybe it was the law itself. And since she can't get her mom back, Precious will honor her life by fighting for justice with no sympathy for her father."
Not once did you offer your condolences, sympathy, or anything for my mom. That post was to clean his face, to clear his name.
If something happens to me, you'll know who did it. For 2 years, a Georgia businesswoman posted those exact words on social media over and over again. On September 13, 2024, she attended her ex-husband's probation hearing at a Georgia courthouse. Within minutes of leaving that building, her prediction came true in that courthouse parking lot. Before we get into it, leave a like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Crime on Pulse so you won't miss the next case. Krystal Evans and Tom Mallory weren't strangers when they fell in love. They'd grown up in the same Georgia town with their lives intertwined since childhood. That kind of history made their wedding feel inevitable, like two people who were always meant to end up together. For the better part of 2 decades, they built what looked like a solid life. T&K Contracting Incorporated, their construction company in Griffin, Georgia, became a family enterprise. They raised children, traveled, and celebrated milestones. Krystal's social media told the story of success, business wins, family moments, the kind of life people aspire to have. On October 15, 2020, Krystal posted a reflection on their marriage. She wrote about meeting over 27 years earlier and still going strong only by grace. She mentioned surviving a terrible automobile accident that left her disabled and unable to walk again, and how Tom had stepped up to ensure she received the best care possible. At the beginning of that year, she'd been planning to end their marriage, but she believed something different had been planned for them, stating that they had totally fallen back in love with each other. But that post, hopeful as it was, would be one of the last glimpses of their marriage before everything fell apart. The unraveling didn't happen all at once. It started with infidelity. Krystal discovered the cheating, and like so many people in her position, she chose to forgive rather than walk away. She believed in second chances, in the power of commitment, in working through problems rather than running from them. Friends who knew about the affairs watched Krystal try to hold her marriage together. They described her as someone who invested everything into the people she loved, someone who believed relationships were worth fighting for. But then Krystal learned that Tom's infidelity extended far beyond what she'd already forgiven. He had allegedly been secretly involved with men throughout their entire marriage.
What more can you say about it?
You fuck niggas, you a faggot, you fuck boys. I can say that. I can keep saying that. Pussy nigga, you ain't put no insurance on it. You put insurance on it, the car still be on the road. Dumbass nigga, you so stupid. You so fucking stupid.
You tell me, can you do that? No, you can't do that shit. Because you know why? Because you a bottom nigga.
You so stupid.
That's why you can't goddamn do it. You a bottom
It's
nigga.
cool when I get out there, just have that energy in you.
A double life that had been hidden for nearly 3 decades. The betrayal wasn't just about the affairs anymore. It was about the fundamental lie their entire relationship had been built on. Krystal's pain spilled onto Facebook. She wrote, "Tom Mallory, go have your affairs and go with your men behind my back like you always do down low, brother. Didn't want to stop talking to him when I find out. You are pathetic." According to her posts, Tom had been using money from their business, money she had primarily earned and managed, to buy vehicles for the men he was seeing and fund vacations with them. In one post, she expressed her confusion about being the last to know, and commented that she was on the wrong team. In 2022, Krystal filed for divorce. And that's when Tom became dangerous. The man Krystal had known for most of her life transformed into someone unrecognizable. As she tried to establish independence, Tom's behavior escalated. He began stalking her relentlessly, showing up at her home without warning, following their children, appearing everywhere she went. It was constant and escalating. Tom allegedly stole Krystal's vehicle. When she finally recovered it, she immediately had it repainted. A desperate attempt to reclaim something that was hers, or perhaps to make it harder for him to track her. On August 17, 2024, Krystal posted, "Tom Mallory, stay away from us. You're a sick man. Leave us alone. This is sad. Please leave us alone." But Tom didn't stop. On August 22, 2024, she posted a public warning telling people not to purchase any equipment, trucks, tools, or property from Tom Mallory, stating he wasn't supposed to be selling anything and that buyers would face legal consequences. She claimed he attempted to forge a deed to her home using what she said was a stolen notary stamp, making threats about harming her so their daughters would inherit the property. Krystal needed police assistance to recover business equipment Tom had taken. Through all of this, Krystal was creating a record. She understood that Tom was dangerous, and she was desperately trying to build evidence that would protect her. Krystal made a post writing, "Please know if something happens to me, Tom Mallory did it. He will not stop stalking and harassing me. I want him to stop following me, trying to show up everywhere I am. I have a divorce in order plus a protective order being filed. I don't want to do this, but he will not stop. Please go on with your life and leave me alone. If something happens, please make sure this man is accountable for his actions. I have been living in terrible conditions trying to get away from this man." For nearly 2 years, Krystal used social media as her warning system. She documented threats, incidents, and her growing concerns. Krystal wasn't just posting into the void. She was calling for help. And finally, in August 2024, she pursued an emergency protective order through the courts, formally documenting everything in official legal filings. On September 11, 2024, Judge Benjamin Cooker granted the protective order, prohibiting Tom from coming within 500 yards of Krystal. But Krystal knew a piece of paper wasn't enough. She pleaded with the judge to order Tom's immediate arrest, explicitly stating she didn't feel safe. That request was denied. Instead, Tom was instructed to turn himself in voluntarily. On September 13, 2024, Krystal posted another plea. That same day, Tom had a court hearing at the Spalding County Courthouse in Griffin, Georgia. He was facing charges for allegedly forging financial documents and violating his probation. Krystal had no obligation to attend, but she chose to be there to witness accountability and ensure her voice was heard. Understanding the risk, Krystal brought her daughter and a close friend with her. The hearing proceeded without incident. But before it concluded, her daughter had to leave for another appointment. So Krystal was left with just her friend. Krystal and her friend waited inside the courthouse, hoping Tom would leave first. When they believed he'd gone, Krystal said goodbye to her friend and headed across the street to her car. Courthouse surveillance cameras captured her walking alone toward her vehicle. What Krystal didn't know was that Tom hadn't left. He was waiting in his car in the parking lot, strategically positioned to watch the courthouse exit. When Krystal reached her vehicle, Tom was already there. According to police reports, he attacked her from his car window. Krystal was struck and Tom sped away. People nearby immediately sought cover. Griffin police and Spalding County deputies immediately pursued Tom through the city. When they finally surrounded his vehicle and ordered him out, he was found wounded. Officers had him removed from the car and rushed him to the hospital where he survived his injuries. Back at the courthouse, deputies were working desperately to save Krystal. Despite everything they tried, Krystal lost her life. Precious posted an emotional tribute to her mother on Facebook that same day. She wrote, "To know my mom is literally to love her. My mom had the sweetest soul ever, saw the good in everybody for real. I was so proud of you for finally standing up for yourself, and girl, you stood 10 toes down. I'm so proud of you for that. You kept saying I'm not gonna live in fear anymore, and you didn't. If you would have told me this morning was gonna be the last time I see you, I wouldn't have let go for real. I wish I would have stayed at the courthouse instead of leaving you. I just keep replaying what would be different. I know you always say cowgirls don't cry, that was your favorite song, but girl, you got me heartbroken. You was so happy about your divorce. You finally felt free. I hate that Spalding County failed you. Domestic incidents should not be taken lightly. My mom was taken from me by a piece of garbage I call a dad."
He was a very controlling, manipulating man. I waited outside for her for a little bit. But it kind of was just taking a little minute, and I had a 12 o'clock appointment I had to go to. Her friend let the clerk, let the people know, like, hey, can you have someone escort her out when she comes out, because we're about to leave. Fell on deaf ears. I probably wasn't even home 5 minutes. My godmother called me back probably a minute later, and she's like, your mom is screaming. My dad had shot my mom at the courthouse. From what I have heard from the doctor and things, that he is going to survive. He shot himself in the jaw. To me, this is something that could have very much been prevented, down from the judge all the way down to the sheriff department. My mom has called the sheriff a total of 3 times of him threatening her, threatening that he's going to kill. We just knew how dangerous he was. My mom was such a giving, nice person. There was not a mean bone in her body whatsoever. So I just want justice for my mom where the ball was dropped.
The Spalding County Sheriff's Department faced intense scrutiny. People wanted to know how this had happened. How had a woman who spent 2 years documenting threats, who had a protective order, who was literally at a courthouse surrounded by law enforcement, ended up in such tragedy? On September 14, 2024, Sheriff Daryl Dix posted a lengthy statement attempting to defend his department's actions. He addressed the controversy about the courthouse escort first, stating, "For a fact, the person that started the rumor that Mrs. Mallory asked for an escort has admitted that it was a lie. Clerks in the magistrate office were asked, not a deputy, and a deputy was never requested by anyone to escort her." Video from the lobby shows that as Mrs. Mallory walked through the lobby, she passed deputies and did not ask for assistance either. In the past, we have received multiple calls to the Mallory's residence. Both would claim that the other started the fights. On occasions where witnesses were present and interviewed by deputies, they said they didn't see anything, or said it didn't happen like it was described by either Mr. or Mrs. Mallory. On other occasions, it was her word against his, or his word against hers, with no marks on either except old bruising or no marks at all. This was by all definitions a toxic relationship. Under Georgia's family violence law, it says that the primary aggressor shall be arrested. If witnesses didn't see anything, both parties say they both fought mutually, all marks or bruising appear to be old, and there is no physical evidence found, no arrest can be made. There were times when she claimed he hit her or pulled a weapon on her. There were times where he said she got angry, hit him, and shot at him. On one occasion, Mr. Mallory was in fact arrested by deputies, but posted bond. He concluded by pointing out that the same deputies who allegedly didn't help Krystal were the ones who tried to save her life after the attack, removing her from the car and trying to save her. That morning, before everything happened, Krystal had posted something on Facebook. Words that now read like a final message. She wrote, "At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how a woman looks compared to the way she is treated. Every woman should be treated with respect and love, especially when she rides for you no matter what. But the way this man has treated this woman, disrespected her, made her look foolish in public and in front of her peers is ridiculous. And I'm a woman speaking from experience. People can have their opinion about her all they want, but until she gets fed up with it, that's when she will take action and nobody can really judge her. 'Cause nobody walks in her shoes. Most of the time a woman will ride it out because of the time and effort she has invested into that person. She's been riding with him for a long time. But when those wheels fall off, she's done. I know they live their life in public, but they hurt in private. I pray for that family. Because there are children and a lot of other family members involved that will be affected. But when a person is as selfish as he is in that marriage, he don't even realize what all is gonna affect until it's too late. Hours later, those words proved tragically correct. Until it's too late.
My mom literally called the sheriff department the day before because he was stalking her. She even showed them that the PTO that she was granted for life Wednesday from the divorce, and they did nothing. Had they had someone walked out with her, like, her friend asked, she would still be here.
The world keeps spinning and so does crime. Stay observant, listen to your instincts, and don't ignore the warning signs. I'll see you in the next case on Crime on Pulse. Thanks for watching.